Tami Lyn Show. This is the Tami Lyn Show. Go ahead, Tami Lyn. This is the Tami Lyn Show. Shut up, my bones. Just like fire. Shut up in my bones. Go Tami. Yippee-yo, yippee-yo, yippee-yay.
Hi, I'd like to welcome you all to an exciting show. Click, put them on. I am Tami Lyn. I am your girl. Many of you know me and you may not know me. But once we get together today, you will remember me. You will not forget me because guess what? I got it going on. And I don't even care if you don't like it. But guess what? You will like what I'm sharing with you today. My name is Tami Lyn and you heard the song. This is the Tami Lyn Show. And I want you to know that I invest in you. I would love to meet you. Many of you have emailed me and let me know that you have missed seeing me around. I got out of the loop, guys. Guess what? I'm looking for a few good ones. I need someone to let me know what they're doing, and that someone could be you. Okay. Hi, I'd like to welcome you guys back, and I'm sure that, many of you know 420 is on like a pot of egg bones. But you know what? In my situation, 420 means a whole lot more because guess what? That's the day I got dumped out of jail. Guess what? Miss Goody Two Shoes. Been there, done that. But today we're going to talk about liberation. And you see in my hand, I have a thumb drive. We're going to talk about technology. And guess what? We're going to start a blind date series. Many of you I meet and you are totally shocked. You meet me and you say, oh, Tami Lyn, I love your hair, I love your makeup, I love your this. But when you find out that I am legally blind, you got a problem with it. But what we're going to talk about today is Just Ask. We're going to talk about a campaign, Just Ask, a public service announcement that I feel is so desperately needed. Anytime you see this white cane, it folds, it unfolds, just like this. Anytime you see this white cane, I call it a white stick, and some people get offended with it, but anytime you see this, just ask. And that's what we're going to talk about today, just ask. I am going to serve as a public service announcement for people who are visually impaired. I was blessed to write a song, 741 North Vermont, which is the address to the Los Angeles Braille. And I was so impressed because I became legally blind in 2007 due to an error, to a doctor's error during a supposedly in and out surgery or whatever you want to call it. So I really don't have a condition or a sickness or an illness, but I got caught up into a whirlwind. And it started off with me with medications, and then it really went into something where I became legally blind. I was one of the first longshore women. Woohoo! Longies do it best. Longas, short shoremen. But I was blessed, here in LA rolling, and then all of a sudden, my eyesight became impaired. I became visually impaired, like I was telling you. And the most important thing about visual impairment is that you realize, just like people, it is an individual condition, if you want to call it a condition. But many people don't realize that so many people are losing their sight due to various diseases, accidents, one medication leading to this medication and that. And so what we have to realize is that we have to become knowledgeable about eyes. How valuable are your eyes? And are you more than your eyes? Because I know for me, and this is real talk, when I became visually impaired, I wanted to die. I was like, God, who gonna drive my Benz? Who gonna do this? But you know what? I had to experience process. And I learned I'm more than my eyes. Yeah, I rock the makeup. One day I have on a blue, one day I have on a green, but I'm rocking it. And in my world, I may physically have on purple, but if I think I'm rocking pink, guess what? It's pink for me. And I'm blessed I have some sight because I know there are those that have no sight. So when you start talking about vision, it's about God making provision because he certainly will. And I'm a prime example of that. I've been doing television here in LA for about 30 years. So I want you to rock with your girl, Tami Lyn, T to the Amilyn, Tami Lyn. You can always email me at Tami Lyn, Tamilyn, the number 4, YOU at Gmail. And you might see I've been fumbling in my hand with this book, which is the Constitution. And I am letting you know right now, I believe that this country is a great country. You can complain and say this or that is wrong. Baby, let me tell you, as a visually impaired person, I became an advocate. And you know what? I want to share something. Our Constitution in this country is cold-blooded. And we'll get into that a little bit later because I'm not political nor am I religious. But one thing I do have to say is I love this country. And I love everything that, we have been brought together by words. And words mean so much. It used to be an old saying that says, 6 and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt. That is so untrue. There are those things. Words hurt, and that's why we use them. But this right here, if you ever get a chance, read the Constitution. Read the preamble agreement of this country, and you will just fall in love. It's a beautiful love story, too. Now, I'd like to share a picture. I was invited to the White House to speak with Congress, and I'm going to show you this picture here, if I can hold it up right. Okay, I'd like to share this picture with you. I was invited, along with my family, Christina Lynn and my husband, Henry Love, and I. We were invited. We went out to the White House. As a part of it, we went to Congress floor, and we were speaking about the Just Ask campaign. Things that I'm sharing with you today, that you do not just walk up to a person who's visually impaired and begin to touch them and put your hands on them. Just ask. May I help you? Are you lost? Do you need some assistance? So this is a very good picture that we took there that I just wanted to share with you. And also, I wanted to let you guys know that when you are visually impaired, there are different degrees. Like myself, I have some sight. I have poor vision and very little sight that I can make out faces. So there are some people who have just, maybe it's one eye, maybe it's 2 eyes, you don't know, but you just ask. And then they'll let you know, yes, I need help, no, I don't. And then as we go along and discuss things, and here you'll find out people who are visually impaired, they're doing a doggone thing. They're not sitting on the side of the road with a banjo begging with a monkey. And that's a misconception. Because if you look at me, you can't tell that I'm visually impaired, but I do have visual impairments. So let's keep it pushing. And as I was telling you earlier, we don't even trip. When you're visually impaired, a lot of times people have not been around people who are visually impaired, and they don't have the tools to even approach a person who's visually impaired. And it's a lot of apologies, but no apology needed, because if you just ask, then the person will let you know, no, or yes, I do need help. I'm a little bit lost. Many people, these are glasses. Some people are visually impaired and they need glasses. These help a little bit, not much, but I put them on and I rock them because they're cool and they look good. You saw me flossing. But anyways, we're moving right along. Now, we're getting to technology. This is Tam, okay? I am not as savvy as a lot of people who are visually impaired. Me, I am yet using an old-fashioned tape recorder. And this tape recorder serves a purpose for Tammy. But there are so many young people, and this was my stand at the White House, who need technology. In today's world, there is no need for anyone who's visually impaired to sit on the side of the road crying or complaining. You know, technology has really advanced so far ahead that no one beside you, hardly ever will see anyone using that big tape recorder. I mean, at Braille, they will yield you an old-fashioned tape recorder like I have. But you will be carrying so many things that it ain't even funny. But check this out. This is modern technology. This is an iPhone. I went to a place called Empower Tech, which is a tech...
Button, one notification.
Okay. This phone will speak everything that you will need to get around. It will also tell you what color you're wearing. It does so many endless things with the apps. Now, my thing is this. I had the iPhone 4. I was a whiz at it, okay? It would read my emails and it just sang like a bird. Now, someone convinced me, oh, upgrade, you're so in the dungeon, you're so back in the Stone Ages. Hey, I'm still using the tape recorder, so I felt like with the 4 I was rolling, right? I get the 6, I am lost. So I get the 6, and this 6 has just gotten me so far behind checking my emails and everything, because what it does is it gives you, I guess it's a wider phone for someone who has small fingers. This is the joke I was told, right? But what I want you to know about this technology is that this will do the trick. If you learn to use the iPhone, and I'm not, a salesman for iPhone, but I know for visually impaired people and even some Android phone, you have to check it out for yourself. They work wonders. You can find out where you are. You can say, hey, Siri, she'll talk back. You can have your email. Now, let me tell you something. Don't think like I did, that this will just automatically, you buy it and it has all your contacts. Silly me, I didn't know someone has to put them in for you. But guess what? At the Braille, they have Point Connection, which will connect you. They have beautiful people over there, Earth and Philip, all of those people over there. And let me tell you, the iPhone store, there are endless possibilities that you can get the training that you need. And I'm going to toughen up, and I was telling Tom Daniels, who I'd like to thank, the videographer, I was just telling him that I have no excuse for not being up on technology, okay? So I'm going to continue to share, because a lot of people ask me, Tam, what about, blind people? How do you guys count your money? Well, let me tell you, this iPhone has a money changer app that you can put on it. But let me show you something else that we also use. Let me just find it here. And so, we talked about the iPhone technology as far as taking you places you can go. I travel the country, as I said, as an advocate. And something that I'd like to share also with you is a lot of people are pretentious. I'm not. It is what it is. These are dots. You can get these dots from Braille and the Braille Institute at 741 North Vermont, which is the name of a song I wrote. These dots right here are they're remarkable. You may ask, why a dot? These dots serve as markers. For people who are visually impaired, it is a terror to go to a microwave and not have a dot on it, and it's a faceless technology. So with this dot at home, you can mark all of those things that are so important to you. Like on the iPhone, you can mark, although it has a home button, you can mark where if you put your code in, you can mark that. If you have, let's say, a microwave, as I said, and you want to put it on the number 1, or if you have a stove, an oven, they work for keys. And all you do is they have various degrees of sizes, and you use these. These are called dots. And they're very, very good. To mark your keys, you can mark your window opening, any numbers, anything that you need marked that you need to find and designate. Keys, if you have an opening that you want to stick, your opening, you may dot it, and then you fill on the opening, you got your dot, and you know which way your key goes in, okay? This right here, I'm going to be moving quick because we're running out of time. But guess what? These things are so accessible. A lot of you aren't aware of it, but you have institutions like the Braille Institute, and maybe you have some sight left. This is an ocutometer. That's not the correct name. But what this does is, let's say you're at a bus stop, and you have one good eye. Well, guess what? This is like if you were at an opera, and you needed to zoom in on that good eye that you do have and get a bus number, or to tell something that's in the room. You can zoom in with this.